Hey, Shalom, I'm back again. Getting a little frustrated. This is my second time doing a show. Actually, it might be my third because the sound keeps going off. So I'm getting a little pissed off here. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going, man. Do it over again. You know. Hey, let's keep going. I'm gonna read all the way through. Just go a little faster. All right, so we're at Genesis because the sound went off, right? And now I'm doing a part two of this. All right, so we're in Genesis chapter 29, verse 26, and it says, "And Laban said, It must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve thee with me, yet 7 other years." So now we're at the point of the story where Jacob, our forefather, has worked 7 years for Leah, well, really for Rachel, but got instead Leah, right? Because now Laban's saying, well, look, it's part of our custom is not to give the second. We have to give you the firstborn, then you get the second, right? Because Leah was the firstborn before Rachel. She was the older sister. So this is what Laban's saying, which was he was just playing him, because Jacob was like a blessing to him for him and his business. So he did it he supplanted him for him to stay longer, because he loved him and he wanted to say and he loved what he was doing for his business. It says, "And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week and gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban and I'm sorry, excuse me, I skipped 27. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week and gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years." Now, if you see this part, it says here in 29, "And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to her maid." So now Leah had a handmaid. Now Leah had a handmaid with Zilpah. Now Rachel has a handmaid. Her handmaid's in there, which means a handmaid means basically a woman of another nation that's under the like a servant onto the Israelite woman. So basically, in our customs, every Israelite woman had a handmaid or like a little servant onto them, but it was a woman of another nation. So if you were married to an Israelite woman, you would marry her and the handmaid. The handmaid would be a concubine, and if your woman was barren, you would have a child in the place of it will come in the place of the handmaid and being born through her. And this is what happened. This is how the 12 tribes of Israel were brought forth through our Israelite women and other nation women. But proves to you that the seed of a man is what makes a nation a nation. Doesn't matter what woman you have. It just matters what man that person, what nation that is, and that's what the nation that child is. So again, and Laban gave to Rachel, the father of Rachel, Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, which is a handmaid, a concubine, or excuse me, a woman of another nation, to serve Rachel, his handmaid, to be her maid, right? To be Rachel's maid. So each of our Israelite women had maids, right? And we can have sex with the maids too, which means there would be our concubines. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Just like Pastor Hart mentioned last week, that part of our customs and laws is that if you have more than one wife, but you hate one and love the other, that one that is hated, they get first dibs as far as certain activities in Israel, man, and they get first dibs because that child is hated, rather than the one that's loved. And Leah, because that's balance, the Most High is balance. It says, "And Leah conceived and bare a son." Okay, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, "Surely the Lord has," and this is the firstborn. All right, Ra'aban, right? It says, "For she said, Surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me." And she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, "Because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also." And she called his name Simeon, right, which is today's Dominicans. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi, or Laya. And that's doublefold, Loya, which proves again that the nation of Israel, the Most High, has ordained. We go by something called Omen Nomens, or Nomen Omen, which is name prediction. Case in point, Yasha Allah. We are called the Israelites, which is Yasha Allah in Hebrew. He is the prince of the power, which means we are princes of the Most High's power. We are joint heirs. We are next in line. We are the princes of the Most High's power, meaning we are the kings. We are the chosen, to his power. We're a princess to his power. Even our Lord, the deliverer, Yahweh Shai. Yah meaning he, Ha meaning the, and Washai meaning deliverer. So he, the deliverer. All right, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to deliver us from this destruction. He has delivered our souls into the kingdom by dying for the whole nation, and he's always delivered us. Okay, so Omen. So my point is that the tribe of Levi, which means Laya, is twofold. Number one, joined unto me, the Most High chose Levi as a priest of the nation, as a priest out of the whole nation. He chose them to be priests upon the whole nation of Israel. So that, and if you're a priest of the Most High, you're joined onto him, aren't you? If you're a priest, so you're joined onto the Most High, because so the Most High chose the tribe of Levi, or Laya, to be joined unto him, to put his to make them the priests of the nation of Israel. That came by the way of Aaron, being the descendants of Aaron at a later time. And the other point is that joined unto me by way of Leah, because Leah in her mind thought that if this third son, Laya or Levi, that Jacob would love me more, and it would make me more joined onto him by this third son. So Omen, name prediction. It says, and she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, Now I will praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing. So yeah, so Judah is for the fourth born and means praise. Next chapter, verse 30. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and she said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, Am I in God's stead? Who hath withheld from me the fruit of the womb? And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, going unto her. She shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. Now look at that. Now here it is, Rachel, right? If a man wasn't allowed to be more than one woman, why the hell did Rachel offer Jacob her handmaid for Jacob to lay down with? Why? Because it was part of the customs, man. Why? Because a man could be with more than one woman. Not only can a man be with an Israelite woman, and a man can be with an Israelite woman's servant of another nation, or maid. So again, our forefathers, our forefathers, or I'll say this: the 12 tribes of Israel, they don't all come from Israelite women. Some of them, again, are from women from other nations. But proves again how important the seed is. It's all about the seed, but the seed, they were all Israelite seed, which means they're all Jake. Anyway, and Bilhah conceived and bare. So it says, and she. Right, and it says, and she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah going unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have her children. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went in unto her, means he had sex with her. All right, and Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, The Lord has judged me, and has also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. So Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob's second son. And Rachel said, With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, I have prevailed. She called his name Naphtali. And Naphtali, I believe, is a tribe of Naphtali is a tribe of Argentina to Chile. All right, and it says, and Leah said, a troop. Where am I? Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. So now they're competing now. Leah grabbed her maid, her servant, to sleep with Jacob, and now he has a son. So hey, Jacob's getting busy, man. A lot of you know what. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the dogs will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went into the day in which Asher are today's, Brazilians. Okay, Colombia to Uruguay. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them into his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. All right, what are mandrakes? I looked that up. Mandrakes look like actual men. You see here, mandrakes look like actual people. Now I don't believe this is real. I gotta be crazy if that one's real, but that's what these are. This is real though. That's crazy, but they actually look like men. I don't believe that one's real. That's crazy. I mean, it could be, but all right. I don't know. I don't think that's real either. Come on. It could be though. I'm not familiar with mandrakes. That looks like yeah, that's crazy how human they look, man. Yeah, crazy. But hey, mandrakes, those are it. They look like men. All right, back to the scriptures. So Reuben went into the days of the wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them into his mother Leah. Then Rachel said unto Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. And so Rachel's asking for the mandrakes that Reuben got, and gave to her mother Leah, his mother Leah. So Rachel wanted one, and Leah said, and she said unto her, it is a small matter that thou hast taken my husband, and wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? This is Leah. And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. So basically, Rachel hired Leah to sleep with Jacob, so she could, so that was her payment for getting those mandrakes, And says, and Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And it was Leah who did it. Leah was like, look, give me your husband, give me my Jacob, so I could sleep with him, and then you could get the mandrakes. Okay. So that's how important it was back then, man. Women would love to have babies, man. And what did that love, and to signify that love, to stamp that love, was to have more kids, have most babies with that man, the most fertile babies with that man, you know what I mean? So look at these women today. Anyway, and he lay with her that night, and God the Most High hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the fifth son. And Leah said, the Most High hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar, which now we know how the word Issachar came into play, right? Yashashkar, he is hired, right? Today's Mexicans. And Leah conceived again, and bare Jacob the sixth son. And Leah said, the Most High hath endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulon. And Zebulon is a tribe of Guatemala to Panama, and our brothers. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And the Most High remembered Rachel, and the Most High hearkened unto her, and opened her womb. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, the Most High hath taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Lord shall add to me another son. Give me, and this is the point, I'm going to end the show here. And it came to pass, when Rachel had born Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go into my own place, that to my country. So finally Rachel had a son, and his name was Joseph, which is the tribe of Ephraim today. A mighty tribe, by the way, right? Which is part of that northern kingdom, right? But right when Rachel finally had a baby, he said, okay, now I got to go now. Let me leave and have my own place. Because now by this time, Jacob has kids, He has more than one wife and maids, so he has quite a bit of wealth. He's there for over 14 years now, right? So it said, give me my wives. Now this is the point. Let me highlight this. Give me my wives. Give me my wives. Give me my wives, says Jacob, and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done thee. And with that, I'll say that's it. End of the show. Proving that, again, if Jacob had one wife, there would never be the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So we were supposed to have more than one wife, man. That's something ordained by God. I mean, what better example than to use our forefathers, Jacob, right? Or any example in the scriptures, man. So with that, man, you women just shut the fuck up, man, and get in order. We only out here for the men to wake them up, but excuse my French, but it's getting frustrating, man. It is getting frustrating, but you women just need to listen, and that's gonna be hard. That's hard enough for you anyway. All right, so this is really for the men. But anyway, Lord willing, the show is edifying through the spirit of Yahweh Shemai Shai, and see you in the next show, man. So Kalahla Yahweh Shemai Shai Bahashim Kwakwadush. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who have the spirit of 100% spirit of Yahweh Shemai Shai in them. Double honors to Connecticut elders. Shalom to warriors in this country and all the world, prophesying in the true name of Yahweh Shemai Shai. Shalom.